Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name's Danielle and I'm the owner of Dan Fancy Creations and the Drunk Flamingo Glitter. If you guys are new to my channel, I do want to let you know that all of my groups and links are posted in the description below in case you guys want to check them out. Today's tutorial is day 3 of my 12 Days of Christmas video series, and I am so excited to share this tutorial with you guys. These fun acrylic blanks were made by Brooke Tannehill. She owns Cami Page Boutique. If you guys do not follow her, please go give her a follow. She is one of the sweetest people I know in the crafting community. She also makes amazing tumbler tools. I have several of them and they definitely make creating tumblers a lot easier. In today's tutorial, we're going to cover everything you see listed here, but as always, if you guys have questions about a step that I covered or products that I use, please just ask in the comments and I will come back and answer them. Also, don't forget that all of my 12 Days of Christmas tutorials have a giveaway associated with it. Make sure you check out my tutorial group on Facebook for all the details. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get started on this tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoy. Also, don't forget that I will be teaching a 2-day class at next year's TUMBLERCON. If you guys want details or are thinking about going, I do have links to tickets in the description of this video, as well as a discount code to my class. I hope to see you there. Alright y'all, so here are the blanks we're going to be working on today. We have these fun little Christmas tree snack cakes and a really classy Merry Christmas ornament with some deers. Each blank is etched on one side and the opposite side is blank. Don't pull up the wrong side like I did here. I was pulling up the front side when I should have been pulling up the back side, and I didn't realize until I pulled half of it off. Sometimes the backing can be hard to get off, so using tweezers or a needle can help with that. So we are removing the side where the back is completely smooth, not the side with the etching. And we are going to glitter this side first. I am just mixing up some of my favorite white glitter, which is Coconut Snowball Martini. You can get that on thedrunkflamingo.com. So I'm just adding a little bit to this blank, and then I am moving it to the edge. You can either use a paintbrush or a silicone tool. Either one will be fine. I like to use a paintbrush a lot, and then I just clean it with acetone when I'm finished. As long as it doesn't hit the sunlight or UV light, it will not harden on your brush. So I am just moving this UV resin right up to the edge. Careful not to make it overflow. And then we're going to cure this under our light. And then we're going to do the same thing to these larger bulb ornaments. And I'm using CCDIY's UV resin. It is the best that I have tried so far, and I've tried a lot from Amazon. The CCDIY UV resin just seems to cure a lot quicker and harder. Usually 1 to 2 minutes under the light, and there is zero tack. And I do not use the light that they provide. I do have it, but if you use a higher wattage, you get a better cure. And I believe the light I have from them is only a 24 watt light. The one that I have is, I believe, a 54 watt. I use the sun when I can. That is my favorite way to cure UV resin. But it's kind of hard to film that for videos. But the majority of the time, I will apply my UV resin, especially with pins, and I will set them out in the sun for about 2 to 3 minutes and everything is completely cured. And once all of our ornaments have cured with this layer of UV resin, we are going to go and paint the back side of these ornaments. This is the same side we were just working on. And the reason why I'm painting this back side is so the ornaments will appear bright and white. If we did not paint this backside white, you guys can see here how it looks more transparent and whatever colors are underneath would show through, and I did not want that look. I wanted everything to be bright and white and sparkly. So now you guys can see the difference just in painting the backing makes that glitter appear much more vibrant, white, bright, and sparkly. I'm just using Pop of Color paint to paint this backing. I'm using Pop of Color because it does dry very quickly. So I can let this dry, and shortly after I can go ahead and apply our final coat of resin to the back of these blanks. So to finish the back side, I'm just mixing up a little bit more of clear UV resin with Coconut Snowball Martini. You do not have to add glitter to this step, but I wanted the back side of my blanks to be sparkly like the front side. So we're just going to cure this back side, and once the final coat of UV resin has cured, we can start working on the front side of the blank. We are not going to remove this film from the front side until we are completely finished adding the color. So for this first blank, I'm just doing the traditional snack cake colors. We're just going in with red and green. I am using the Posca markers. They are my favorite paint pens that I have found. They work so well. You're not going to be worrying about them clogging or drying up. I really like these because they have a felt tip, not plastic like a lot of them do. They are so easy to work with. I use them so often for tumblers, blanks, all sorts of stuff. They can be a little bit pricey, but I have had some of my markers for years and they still work great. So it is an investment, but definitely a good one. And I am basically just going over all of the little parts with my paint pens. This one I decided to do a pastel version with pink and teal. And I'm just coloring in these lines. Again, we have not removed this front paper yet. By leaving the paper on, it prevents any of that paint pen color from getting on the rest of the blank. It's just going to fill the little grooves. So we're just dotting all the little sprinkles. And now we're going to do these little bulb ornament blanks. This one I am running low on all of my leafing pins. So I was really trying to find some that would work because I wanted my little reindeer to be metallic. My favorite leafing markers are either the Krylon or these, I think it's Deco Primo. I will link them in the description for you guys. Craftsmart does also have a good one, which you can get at Michael's. That's what I'm using right now. And the Craftsmart does have a finer tip than the Krylon or the Primo. And so we are just filling in all these little spots. I did a traditional colored ornament and also a pastel color in these as well. And some of these have really tiny little pieces on them, so you do have to make sure that sometimes you may have to kind of burp your markers, kind of like press down on the ornament to fill the really skinny spaces. But I was on a live when Brooke was doing a tutorial on these, and she was saying that she wanted to create these because she hated doing really tiny pieces of vinyl work on ornaments like this or keychains. And I think this is such a great idea because I am the same way. I hate weeding little tiny pieces of vinyl because if you mess up on one spot, you're going to have to cut it out again and kind of start the whole process over. But by having the blanks already engraved, it is super easy to just apply your paint markers, and it's very easy to kind of switch up the design by just changing your colors. So you can still make them custom for people if they want certain colors or things like that. But she just started doing these blanks, so I cannot wait to see what other designs she comes up with for different seasons or holidays. So I'm trying to find another metallic marker that works. This gold was barely working. I was trying to get as much out of it as I could. And then I am being careful around this part since I started to remove this paper before I was supposed to. So now we have our traditional one finished. So I'm just going in with some teal and pink for this one. I am definitely on a pastel Christmas kick this year. I just love these colors together. And my little trees, I did decide to do them different colors. My green one, I did 2 different shades of green. And then for the pastel one, I did 2 different shades of pink. If any of you guys like coloring, adult coloring books, this is definitely right up your alley. It's like an adult form of coloring, but on a different medium. And once you get finished adding all of your color, I would let them sit for a few minutes just to be sure that all of the ink from the paint, or all the paint from the paint pens, I guess, is dry. And I have a swarm of birds flying above me. Anyway, So once all of your paint markers have dried, we are going to take our tweezers again and start removing the paper from the front side. I don't know what these birds are doing, y'all. Oh, I see now that there are two hawks up in one of my trees. They hang out here often. Usually it's squirrels that chase them off, but today it was crows that are trying to get rid of them, but I still see them up there. Y'all get to come to my channel and learn about cups and nature. Usually it's deers, but today we're talking about birds. So we are just removing all of these little tiny pieces of paper, and y'all can see that any of that excess paint is just sticking to that paper, so that all you're left with is a super cute design. So yeah, those are super cute. I absolutely love how they turned out. If you have any excess paint that may have gotten on the design accidentally, you can just take a Q-tip and some alcohol and wipe it off. And for larger ornaments like that, we are just going to carefully remove as much of that paper as we can. There are a lot of really tiny pieces, which I will also show you guys how to get up. Brooke suggested in her live to use duct tape to help with this, but I don't have any duct tape handy, or it was downstairs. So I just decided to try my packing tape. So we're just pressing down that packing tape over the little tiny pieces that may be in between your letters. And the packing tape just stuck to that paper and pulled it right up. So any little pieces that are in between, like the little bow or the little letters and even the little trees, we just got that right up with the packing tape. And then I'm going in and getting rid of some of that paint that got on the ornament that I did not want. And look how cute that is. So we're going to do the other one. I think the pastel one is probably my favorite. And we're just doing the same thing. We are peeling up as much of that backing as we can. And then we're going to get another piece of packing tape and just press it down on our words. Any little pieces that may still be stuck on there. And that packing tape just lifts it right up. I love this one. I think it turned out so cute. I'm just going in with some alcohol, cleaning up all my little ornaments. And then if you want to, we can add another layer of UV resin on top of these ornaments just to protect the paint. You don't have to do this. I chose to just because I want them to last. And I also think it gives a nicer finish if the front side is slick and shiny like the back side. And I'm just squirting a little bit of this UV resin on my blank, and then we're just moving the resin to the sides with a silicone tool. I'm using a silicone tool for this one because I am kind of filling in those little grooves where the paint was, and I'm trying to avoid air bubbles. And I will pop the air bubbles with my torch if I see any, but if you're very careful, then you can avoid air bubbles. And once that top side is cured, you can add a fun little ribbon or ornament hook, or you can turn them into keychains if you want, but you will be completely done. So here are some finished pictures. I just added a little ribbon to mine. I'm just going to use these as ornaments. And I thought this was a super fun, quick little project that you can do. You can add these as gifts to orders or fun craft you can do with kids or grandkids. But I thought they were really fun and cute, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you guys give this a try. If y'all enjoyed this tutorial or learned something new, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to catch the next video coming up that was picked just for you. As always, if you're looking for more tips, tricks, or tutorials, be sure to check out my tutorial or our Damn Fancy Tribe. Both are linked in the description. Thanks for watching.